Hello, welcome to my home. Today we'll be doing something just a little bit different. We'll be making chicken stew. This came about from me running out of stuff in my kitchen, not going to the grocery store on time. And this quickly became one of my family's favorites. All I've done is, in a couple tablespoons of oil, I have diced up roughly 3/4 their small chicken breasts and added just a dash of pepper, and we're going to brown these up and I'll bring you right back. Alright, now that we've browned it, we're going to go ahead and add half an onion, and we're just going to let the onion go transparent and just cook down a little bit. Get nice and tender and get that flavor locked really good in that chicken. And before this onion is cooked all the way down, I'm going to add 4 cloves of garlic. My family loves garlic. If yours doesn't, you don't have to put them in there. I chop mine really fine to get the most flavor out of it. You can slice it. I know a lot of people actually do them in large slices so that they can pick them out. If you have some family members that don't like it and some that love it. But you don't want to put it in there until it's almost done, because you don't want to burn the garlic. A lot of people add it too soon and it gets a bitter taste. There we go. And once that onion's cooked down a little bit, I'll bring it right back. There we go. Our onion's almost cooked down. So now we're going to add the garlic. There we go. Give that a quick stir so they don't burn. You'll be able to smell the difference too with the garlic when they're starting to get a little too hot. I'm going to let this cook down for 1, maybe 2 minutes, and then I'll bring you back again. Alright, now we're going to add some chicken broth. I've just got a box of broth here. It's a 32-ounce box is usually what I use, or 2 pounds. I would go with the low sodium, just so that you can control more of what salt goes into it. If you can make your own broth, go for it. And we're just going to add that in there now that everything's nice and browned. And we're not going to cover this. We're just going to let it keep on going for a while and condense down a little bit. And we can always add water later. As time goes on, you may have to add a cup or 2 of water to cover everything. There we go, and let that bring back to a boil. I cooked this whole thing over medium heat. I don't think I told you that. Just let that heat, and we will have to add water later on. But for now, let that go for about 45 minutes to an hour, and I will bring you back. Alright, once this has been boiling down for anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, I like to add some tomatoes. My family doesn't necessarily like them so much. I, on the other hand, love them, and I find this is a great compromise. The family members that don't like tomatoes will still love this. Normally I'd add about 2 cups roughly of diced tomatoes. I only have a can of diced tomatoes today. It'll still work. It's a 14.5 ounce can, which is enough. Just add the whole thing in there. And I found this is a good compromise because it's being put in here early enough that it'll cook down so it's not like pow tomato, but the flavor's still there for me, which I love. And we're going to boil this for a few more minutes, and I'll bring you back to add the rest. All right, I have actually added a couple big glasses of water just because it was starting to boil down, and you want enough moisture in there to cover all the veggies. So we might actually have to add a little bit more, but at this point I'm going to add my carrots, and this I've chopped up 6 large carrots. This is really easy too if you like some veggies over others. Just compensate it for that. Ouch. I'm going to add these in carefully. And I don't peel my carrots. I just make sure I wash them real good. It's purely cosmetic if you want to peel them. So if you have guests over, you might want to. If not, if it's just a family, I wouldn't worry about it. Oops. Carrots try to get away from me. I might actually want to do another one. Let's see. There's those. Stir it up. Yeah, I think I'm going to chop up another carrot and put in there and let that boil for about 15-20 minutes before you put in the celery and the things that don't take long to cook at all. And when I'm ready to do that, I'll bring you right back. Alright, a little tidbit about celery. If you don't like the actual celery itself, but you like the flavor, I used to be that way. Inside here, there are, I call it baby celery. It might be the celery heart. I'm not sure exactly what the technical term is. But if you take these and chop up the little leaves, they give a really good rich flavor. And no matter what I'm cooking anymore, when I add the celery, I add a little bit of that in there too, and it helps out with the flavor. So I'm adding that in too. Alright, now I'm going to add the celery. And again, I use the couple of the little babies inside. And I chopped up 5 celery stalks and just a pinch of the babies inside. And just mix that up. It's starting to thicken up really nice, and it smells so good. We are almost done. We'll let that cook a little bit to get tender. And just a couple more things to add in. Alright, now that that is all tender, I'm going to add the stuff that won't take much time at all to cook down. I have some butter beans. We're going to add these in today. You don't have to add these in if you don't like them. I just happen to have them on hand, and I really like them, so we'll add that in there. And along with that, we're going to add, well baby, some instant brown rice. If you choose to do rice, just regular rice, you can add the rice in early. I just like to do the instant at the end. That way I know how much I need water-wise, things like that. Alright, so we'll add a cup-ish. Just to help thicken that up and make it into a more of a stew than a soup. Alright, and we'll let that rice cook, let it thicken up a bit, and we'll be right back. I almost forgot. At this point, the last few minutes, you can add more pepper, salt, any kind of seasoning that you like, really. And the last few minutes, I've actually added kale, chopped up kale in there, which actually turned out really good. I don't have any on hand this time though. A little salt. because we use the low sodium broth, and a little pepper. We'll set that right off. It smells so good. Okay, and now we'll let that rice cook up and we'll be right back. Alright, and there is your chicken stew. Nice and thick and hearty, and it's perfect for leftovers. My entire family loves eating this second day when it's sat for a little while in the refrigerator. All those flavors mingle real well. And don't forget, if you have different vegetables on hand, different things are in season, play with it. Just keep in mind of the cooking times. You can add potatoes if you want, but don't cook them, like for example, don't cook those too long, they'll mush up. And just have fun with it and enjoy.